The UK engineer released results earlier this hour, posting a gain in annual net income of £185 million. Sales also rose, and Weir says it's on track to double profit in 5 years. Well, to talk us through the numbers and its outlook, I'm joined by Weir CEO Keith Cochrane. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
I wanted to, first of all, just get a sense of what impact, if any, the unrest in the Middle East is having on the services that you provide to the oil companies.
A very small proportion of our businesses are based in the Middle East, so therefore it's having very limited impact at this time. But we've got far larger exposure to North American oil and gas opportunities, and I would imagine that in time those will continue to show good growth if indeed the uncertainty continues for an extended period.
Are you seeing any kind of order backlog? Are people coming up to you and saying, well, actually, at $100, $110 a barrel, it just makes more sense for me to increase my production and therefore need your services?
Well, what we saw over the course of 2010 was an increase in activity levels, particularly in North American oil and gas markets, and that was in part driven by the move up in oil prices that we saw, particularly over the second half of the year, and that is a theme that I would anticipate continuing through 2011 as well.
So what kind of price are you forecasting for oil? You must have some kind of benchmark or a range where you see it going.
Well, from our perspective, provided oil prices stay at around $80 a barrel plus, then it makes a lot of sense for our customers to continue to invest and continue to develop. So from our point of view, that would be the guidance that we would give at this stage.
And in terms of what impact that will have if it increases, do you have a forecast of if you add $10 a barrel for the price of oil, how much your clients will ask you to pump more oil for them?
It's very difficult to calculate that equation. What I can say, though, is that we would anticipate further growth with an increasing oil price, particularly in the North American marketplace.
Last year you also bought Infinity Engineering Services. That's a wind power maintenance supplier. Is this the kind of direction that you're looking at to grow in the future?
We've already provided renewable services, particularly into the hydro markets, over the last couple of years, so this was a natural extension for us to broaden the portfolio of services that we can provide to our power customers. So we now provide nuclear support services, we provide valves for fossil fuel power plants, and the combination of Infinity and also our purchase of American Hydro towards the end of last year gives us a complete portfolio of products that we can now provide into that market space.
And again, this just makes more sense if the price of oil is rising.
Well, I think it creates another opportunity, and one of the strengths of the Weir Group is our exposure to the mining, the oil and gas and the power markets, and the broad range of end markets that then gives us exposure to.
Keith Cochrane, thank you so much for joining us today.